So I think one of the primary reasons we want to prioritize processing past trauma is that, to put it succinctly, past trauma causes present trouble. And when we experience trauma in our lives, our brain and body adjust. So it changes the way we interact, the way we see the world. Oftentimes, when we've experienced trauma, we bring those ways of relating that were survival skills into a new circumstance. Past trauma is going to disrupt our ability to relate to each other in healthy ways. So parents to kids, kids to parents, but then it expands beyond that to kids to their teachers, or maybe moms to their employers, or to neighbors or other community members. And so I think for the moms, that has to be a priority of some kind for many of them. So when I think about how the Restoration House supports and can encourage moms in their healing from past trauma, one of the concepts I think about is felt safety. And so felt safety is not just knowing that we're safe, but it's experiencing it. The Restoration House, I think, promotes felt safety in several ways. So one, very obviously, how safe housing goes a long way to people feeling safe. But then the layers of resources that are built into the program, I think, create what we call the therapeutic web at Harmony. And the idea of that is that healing doesn't happen in 1 hour with a therapist in their office. It happens the other 23 hours of the day. Restoration House has a pretty layered approach to creating felt safety, which is kind of the foundation for healing.
I think in the little over a year that we've been doing this, the impact has been huge. We've felt it and seen it as a staff. I think we're seeing families go deeper with each other. We're seeing a group of moms that have been on our Village Lead team really taking a lot of initiative and welcoming in new families. They're inviting each other over for dinner on weekends, and these organic relationships aren't something that anybody could make happen, but I think the opportunity for them to get to know each other is there, and they're taking advantage of that, and some really awesome relationships are coming out of it. And then on the individual level, moms are going to get the opportunity to engage in individual therapy to support themselves, but also family therapy to support the parent-child relationship. The impact that this has is huge. A mom shared with me recently that she feels like her work with Harmony has really rebuilt her relationship with her child on a physical, emotional, spiritual level. And when families are supported like that, then the work that I get to do with them around post-secondary education and workforce development or whatever else they might want to achieve is so much more rich, because she has more brain power and energy to put into that because of the support she has.
I think it's important for programs like Emerald Youth Just Lead, as well as the Restoration House, to use trauma-informed strategies, because it helps someone work through and helps a child work through everything that they've already gone through, things that they're currently going through, and things that they will go through. I think the way that the trauma responsive training has affected our kids and our staff as a whole is a lot of different ways. So the biggest way I see it is just the culture, right? The way that the kids interact with each other, the way that the staff interact with the kids, and honestly the way that I lead my staff and the way that I lead my kids. When you walk in the doors, you see lights, you see calming corners, you see spaces where kids can choose whatever it is they need that day. And I think it's given our staff a lot more confidence in how do we move forward and approach a kid and say, hey, you know what, you've had this going on, or this has been a story for you in your life, and we come alongside them and help them work through it. So looking at these tools that we've received and seeing how they've been implemented, there's one kid that comes to mind. He came to us, and when I met him for the first time, he was super frustrated all the time, and he just said, I'm frustrated, and that's that. It's been really cool to see as we've walked alongside him and as we've seen the other kids walk alongside him, how now he's the kid who says, I can pinpoint the reasons why I'm frustrated. And again, that's before we even ask him how he's doing that day. And he's telling us when he gets on the bus, or right as soon as he gets off the bus, what's going on for him, why it's happening, how he's feeling because of it. And then he's picking through a list of options of how can I support myself today to be in a position where I can engage with others. And watching him use those tools that we've walked alongside with him with, he's now using them for himself, and then he's also going and giving them to the little kids and saying, hey, reminder, if you need a second, take a break. You can do that. You can ask for a break. And so it's just been awesome to watch him harness that and then use that and move forward to the next kind of age group underneath him as well.